Over the years, the authority has attained some achievements. The most recent that we received this year, one of the most recent, is one that we were receiving for 13 years. And that's recognition from the National Government Finance Officers Association of the United States and Canada. And it's an award for financial reporting achievement that has been given to the OBMUA for 13 years. It started under the tutelage of Steve Florek when he was our Chief Financial Officer while I was the Executive Director, and has continued with Michelle Smith. And so we are very proud, for nothing else, the fact that not only did we achieve this, we are the only utility authority in the state of New Jersey that has this. We also have had technical advancement in the operations of water and sewer systems over the years, and that included a computer-based monitoring and control system called SCADA. SCADA is short for Supervisory Control and Data Acquisition. We started this with the water system in the township, and this year completed with the sewer system. We started this back in the late 90s. Now what that allows us to do is run and operate the facilities throughout the town from various locations, from laptops, from mobile units, and by doing this over the years we were able to reduce our staffing, and through this technology allow us more efficiencies and opportunities to ensure that the township is better protected and watched out for. We also have been recognized by the New Jersey Water Environment Association, and there was an award established in the name of our former sewer superintendent, Ike Welcome, for his service and his excellence in sewerage and sewerage operations. He was pushing for years to ensure that people were educated and licensed. All too often people are not interested in licensing, and he was the one who really started, pushed it. They were recognized by the state. He was recognized after he passed with that award. We have updated and established web pages, social media presence, Facebook and Twitter. We're currently accepting online bill payments by check without charge, by credit card at the lowest negotiated convenience fee for this area. We have a radio read meter system. At one point we had 5 full-time and some backup meter readers in our township. Over the years we have changed the system to a radio read system, and it's an automatic mobile radio frequency meter reading system that eliminates walking door to door throughout the township. It used to take 90 days to do a cycle of meter reading. It now can be done within a few days, one person driving a vehicle through the township. That has made some significant changes. We've upgraded and been upgrading the sewer pump stations to adhere to more stringent EPA regulations for rainwater infiltration and inflow into the sewer system. Obviously, we take great effort to stop water getting into the sewer system other than the water that's used. We are charged, therefore all citizens are charged, for the treatment of the wastewater. And when there is serious runoff or the system is open in any location, you can have a significant amount of millions upon millions of gallons of water being pumped into the system and being forced into treatment, which actually cost a significant amount of money. So over the years, we have been closing up that system very tightly. We've done some infrastructure hardening projects in Lawrence Harbor and the pump station, Cliffwood Beach, and the sewer division headquarters, as well as the administrative offices. Now you just had before you Mr. Robert Allison. He is also our independent auditor at the authority. The authority has been very successful financially in keeping its costs down, and we have received that we were noted with no transactions entered into by the OBMUA during the year for which there is a lack of authoritative guidance or consensus. All significant transactions have been recognized in the financial statements in the proper period. The financial statement disclosures are neutral, consistent, and clear. There are no comments and no recommendations. This is about the highest allocate you can get from an auditor when an independent auditor is looking over your records. Just to give you an idea of some of the cost savings that the authority has brought about for the town, and most people aren't familiar with this particular one. There's a taxpayer cost savings of $1,000 per hydrant to the Old Bridge fire districts. In most towns in the state of New Jersey, and certainly in those that are run by private water companies, there is a charge to the fire companies for maintaining the fire hydrants. The charges, especially in the private companies, are running upwards of $900 to $1,000 per hydrant. Old Bridge has 2,000 fire hydrants. So you could be looking at a cost of $2 million. In 1986, the Municipal Utility Authority made a determination to take over the hydrants from the fire companies and do, at no cost to the fire companies, all the maintenance and operation of the fire hydrants. The fire companies at that time made a commitment to reduce their taxes to make up for what it was costing them with the fire hydrants. So back then, they were paying about $65,000 a year to have that done, and today the cost would go upwards of $300,000 to $400,000 just by the authority to do it, and upwards of $1 to $2 million by a private water company to do those as well. Question comes down often, how does the utility authority compare to others? And we've done many studies over the years and looked at an awful lot of towns to try to make a determination. Very briefly, simply here, what you're looking at is the average 2017 residential monthly water wastewater cost for Old Bridge MUA customers. That's based on 24,000 gallons of use and calculated monthly on here. That's the average user, 24,000 gallons a quarter. There are those seniors and all who do less, and I'll get into that in a little while. You can see on this one some of the towns local to us: Red Bank, Aberdeen, Milltown, Woodbridge, Howell, Marlborough. All the towns except Marlborough are more expensive than it is in Old Bridge. Marlborough is slightly below Old Bridge. We've done charts, we've done over 50 or 60 towns, and what we have found is Old Bridge throughout the state maintains a cost level below the middle of the pack in the state, so the lower level of the towns through the state, and a lower cost than most towns in the state. The next one you'll find is the current rate comparison on the Old Bridge water rate, sewer rate, senior discounts. You'll notice we bill quarterly. We're looking at alternatives to quarterly billing, especially with the new meter reading system allowing us to do it much more quickly than it was before. The Old Bridge water rate, as you can see, this is the current comparison on the average, is $129.54 a quarter, $43.18 monthly, $1.44 daily. The sewer rate is $142.77 quarterly, $47.59 monthly, $1.59 a day. The Old Bridge seniors who use the base water allows 6,000 gallons a quarter. All the other water costs go on a progression of increasing prices per gallon the more you use. That's contrary to most people's understanding of marketing, trying to give people a discount on the more they use. The object here is to encourage people to use less water, not more. Water is important, it's critical to life. We don't want people wasting water. We want them to save water. The object is to discourage people from using too much water. You'll see here on the senior discount, they pay $56.16 a quarter. Monthly, it's $18.72, and daily, that comes to 62 cents. The discount is a 20% discount on the base rate, and that's established based upon the seniors meeting the qualifications that the standards set by the state on their discount for the township, for the $250 a year tax discount. If they get that here, we automatically give them a discount. They don't even have to apply. You will see the senior sewerage rate with the discount is $114.22 a quarter, $38.07 a month, $1.27 daily. And when you compare it with things like cable TV, internet phones, cell phones, electricity, gas utilities, you'll find that we are certainly competitive, more than competitive on the cost, and what we have is critical, and it's available instantly in your own home anytime you want it, day or night. One of the things that's happened with us over the years that impacts the cost of water is back in the late 1980s, the DEP, Department of Environmental Protection in New Jersey, ordered that utilities withdraw groundwater from certain aquifers that the DEP deemed threatened from saltwater intrusion. They wanted to cut back. The OBMUA's groundwater well capacity of 8 million gallons a day was cut back to 4 million gallons a day, requiring additional water to be purchased from a surface water source. The contract was with Middlesex Water Company, which provides the additional water needed to provide a moratorium. At those days, it was to avoid a moratorium on building, but the truth of the matter was that the courts would never let you establish a moratorium on building. They would require you to find a way to provide the water and the services for those people who wanted to build. What this has done for us is force us to go out and buy water that we could treat and produce here at a much lower cost, about a third less than we pay for it. So that additional cost winds up being passed along to the average ratepayer. This was supposed to be resolved in about 25 years. The object was to ensure that the well systems all regenerated and were full again. We closed our wells down by the Lawrence Harbor beachfront, and we now generate from areas that are further away away from that zone. However, we have not been able to get the rights and the ability to take more water out of the system and allow us to treat more water and then provide more water. So this has a significant impact on the cost of water in Old Bridge until the state of New Jersey gives us a report telling us that there is sufficient water and that we can now generate more water from those wells. We will continue to have to pay up to 30% more for the water that we generate. The average rate increases from Middlesex Water Company over the past 20 years have been 8% a year. The DEP also established a need for regionalization of treatments. We used to do primary treatment of wastewater in Old Bridge and a lot of other authorities as well. Back in the 1980s, the DEP established that we had to have a regionalization of wastewater treatment facilities. For us, that's the Middlesex Utility Authority over in Sayreville. They are doing the treatment for us and all surrounding communities, and that is a direct cost that comes in for the taxpayers because we don't do our own treatment anymore. We're not going to say that's a bad idea. It's actually a good idea to have regionalization of treatment of wastewater. But we have to pump all the wastewater up there to Sayreville, and everything we pump in there we pay for. And treatment of wastewater is not inexpensive, and every time there's an increase, we receive that, and it's passed along. Now, I tell you all this information so you could see this. The Old Bridge MUA increased cost of operation. What's really been happening over the years, so you're that aware of this, what we have done is increase or pass along the increases from Middlesex Water Company and from the Middlesex County Utility Authority to the ratepayers. What we have been able to do is not to increase or pass along increases of cost in the operation of the Old Bridge Municipal Utility Authority itself here in town. Now, everybody would wonder, how can you spend all these years and not have an increase in your operations? Cost increase, there's no question about it. But what we have done over the years is to reduce our costs substantially enough to make up the difference for the increases that we've experienced and been able to absorb those costs and not pass along increases to the ratepayers. And people wonder and want to know how you do that. Well, one of the ways, a specific way we did it, at least while I was there, we reduced the payroll over 12 years, and it's still being reduced. And that was done by some of the changes with meter reading, the changes with using the SCADA system, more technology involved at the authority. When I started there back in the late 90s, there were about 95 employees on the payroll. Today, there are 66 employees on the payroll. We're down about a third. We're down about 29 people. That constitutes about a $2.5 million a year savings to the authority, which is what we transfer the ratepayers by not having increases from the authority. We've also had about a $500,000 a year of employee contributions to health benefits. That also has helped to reduce the payments and keep the cost down for the residents. And you'll find other different costs savings throughout the authority.